Hello, thank you for joining me today for my grant proposal for the Language Experience Approach. My name is April Maple, and I am a graduate student with the University of Kentucky. The reason I am coming to you today on this grant proposal is because I would like to talk about our refugee children coming into the United States. Globally, there are tens of millions of refugees and internally displaced children and families struggling to survive awaiting humanitarian aid. By the middle of 2022, the number of people worldwide that were forced to flee conflict, violence, and persecution had reached an all-time high, propelled by war in Afghanistan and Ukraine and other areas. Things like climate and earthquakes and other natural disasters have continued to uproot families and make children vulnerable. And a lot of these children and families are coming to the United States, which they are then expected to go into an English-speaking classroom. So the reason for the grant is to help these non-English speaking students have tools to learn how to speak English. And by using the language experience approach, we would be able to take small, short sentences that the student is already familiar with and implement them into their sentence structure, their language experience, and they would be able to then write these sentences and relate it to their own life. According to Innovation and Evidence, there has been an article with the digital language experience, which uses the camera and the teacher of going outside, photographing nature, photographing a car, a bicycle, a tree, and then using those photographs with the student to learn how to write short sentences. As you can see in this picture, a student could say, "This is my room," and draw a picture of their bed and their desk. And it would be a very short sentence that they would visually be able to see, and in turn they would start to develop their own English language. The student would compose a story, the teacher writes the story out, the student then sees that in text. If we were to get this grant approved for us, we would implement it into our school district. Our teachers and our English department would learn the curriculum. They would also be learning cultural humility and cultural competency courses. We would also introduce this to parents and caregivers through workshops. We would evaluate the progress of the LEA program through surveys and state testing. And at the end of the year, we would have a celebration for those students that have then mastered the English language by using the language experience approach in the classroom. Our timeline would begin at the beginning of the school year by our secretary gathering data, to trainings of staff, to the students beginning the LEA curriculum daily in their classrooms and their ELD classrooms. Then we would move on to parents and caregivers in the workshops, and then ceremonies to celebrate those who had mastered the language. We're asking for $25,000 per year for 3 years to implement the curriculum, provide the training, provide the supplies, cameras, whiteboards, markers, workbooks for the families, the workshops, and then the party, the celebration. My closing thoughts for this today is now is not the time to decide who's responsible for the refugee children, who's responsible for ensuring their well-being, because us as a country have them here in the United States, so it's all of our responsibility. We all should make the choice to want to support and want to see these children and families succeed, and not to fall into poverty, loneliness, bullying, and we should want to see them succeed and survive in this world to the best that they can. Thank you for being here today to listen to this short presentation. I hope you will consider it, and have a great day.